Today we are talking with the Suzanne Parisi out of our Reston, Virginia office. She's a rock star. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we have been working together. We just talked about this for 7 years now, which just feels like time has just completely flown by.
Yeah.
When you joined Redwood, how many years had you been in real estate at the time?
I was in real estate for 12 years prior to joining Redwood. So I am 19 years in real estate.
Right.
As of November, it'll be my 20th year being licensed.
Yep. So, you're bringing close to 20 years of wisdom with every client interaction, which just makes you just think about how valuable that is. Being able, if you're a consumer, being able to leverage that type of experience. So you have really leveraged video, specifically doing videos of your listings. And that has taken your business to some really exciting places. Could you go into detail about that?
Sure. So, I do love adding that video element to my listing package.
Welcome to 1314 Gates Meadow Way in the Great Falls Crossing subdivision in Northwestern Virginia.
With this market, there's such little inventory. You don't need to do a video to sell the house because the house will sell if it's marketed properly and priced right. But it just adds an extra layer to that. And it's more getting my brand out there with that listing. So it works a couple different ways. One is I use that as a tool to get more listings, because when I go on a listing appointment, I can show myself showing a property so they can envision me selling their house. So that's actually probably the number one most important reason to do the listing videos on the property. But the other part of it is, when we're marketing our properties, we're not just marketing it to the consumer, we're marketing it to other agents. And with the network of agents that we have, and I even notice I watch myself, like when there's an agent that I know doing a video on a property, I'll watch that video and it makes me pay attention to the property, which might help me realize I have a buyer for that. So, and there's not a better person to show off the house than me. So, I don't love doing video, but I do them. I'm actually more comfortable doing a property video because it's not about me. It's about the property. And I can go through and highlight, like I usually go through with the videographer beforehand. And I say, okay, these are the 4 areas or 3 areas I want to highlight on this property. Let's concentrate there. I do my opening, I do my highlights, we do my closing. So I have a system in place for that. And I try to put something quirky or fun in the middle of that. And it's interesting because I always think, does anybody really watch the entire video? But I'll have people say, oh, that was so cute when you were in the tub or when you were on the bike. So I'm like, oh, so you watched the whole thing, which really it's just bringing my professionalism out there to the forefront. And helping me. And also, obviously greater demand equals a higher price. So I think I create a little bit more demand for the property, helps it sell for a higher price. I think the property probably would sell without that, but I'm bringing it to the next level.
Yeah. No, I would say that the people that watch the full video are the people that are really interested in either Suzanne Parisi, which is, your core constituents, or someone who's really interested in the house, which is, why you're doing the video. So in terms of everything I understand about the mind of the sellers place just a huge value on video. And it's such an enormous, as your business experience, differentiation when you can show someone a video. But it's also the power of you walking into that listing presentation and the consumer feeling like they already know you, right? There's really 3 reasons, if you boil it down, that someone's going to work with you, choose you to sell your house. Either they know you or they've been referred by someone they trust. They know of you and they view you as a local expert, right? That's number 2. The number 3 is you have a home listed in a different area that they might want to, trade up into. And so what you're nailing is that second component there where they know of you, and you're doing such a great job of that with video. So
Right. It does help make me relatable. And the other thing is, like I said, I know that property well, and there's certain features that maybe, okay, I had a listing that had the bathroom was horrible. It's a beautiful primary suite. The primary bathroom had green tile that looked like marble from 1997. It was horrible. So when I did the tour of the primary suite and I walked into the bathroom, I was like, and look at the gorgeous skylight that shows the outside coming in. And the videographer pointed up to the skylight and showed like the green trees in the outside and the sun. And my client was like, that was brilliant, Suzanne, because it showed the space, but I'm focused on not like the green tile on the floor, but something else. And I couldn't have done that with a 3D Matterport tour or looking at photos. It really highlighted. You can pinpoint what you want to highlight. So it does really help sell the property.
You could say you're telling the home story,
Correct.
for the consumer, which is just,
Yep.
Storytelling, and, in terms of selling is just so powerful.
Yep.
So you touched on this a bit, but the importance of the listing agent being in their videos. I would argue that just having video itself is better than not having video itself. But if you're going to be producing a video, why not be in it yourself? Why not be present? Because you're promoting your own business as
Correct.
much while you're promoting the home.
Right. Because it is your brand. But also sometimes I'll have a buyer might call. I want more information. I go, you know what? I've got a video for you. I can send that video right along, and they've got me. They've got the house. So it does really help promote. It promotes myself. And like I said, it's me promoting that property and highlighting the features that I think are important to highlight, which you can't get on a regular video.
Yeah. Now, another aspect of your business that is just like lights out impressive is the client events that you and Ron do. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So, and we just sat down and put together our schedule and locked down all of our dates for 2024, which I feel so relieved about. But there's one that I've been doing for like maybe 7 or 8 years, was a shred event in the community that I farm, and that's where I live, but people know about that. But I open that up to like my whole sphere. So anybody can come into the parking lot and bring their shredding and junk removal. And that has been huge. I got a message the other day, when is your shred event? I'm waiting for it. So I have to tell you, the first year was like, okay, I got a decent amount of people. Every year it's more and more. The lines like wrap around the parking lot. So people know of it. And it's like, I think being repetitive and doing the same type of events around the same time of year, it does help people kind of expect it. I do a client appreciation, like I do like a cocktail happy hour in the fall. Usually this has been my 3rd or 4th year doing that. Same clients look forward to it, come back. I have clients that are now friends with each other because they look forward to seeing each other every year at that event. So, and that's great promotion for me, right? And,
yeah.
I like taking pictures. So it is. The other thing we started doing was a couple of years ago. I mean, I have always loved being in like a March Madness, what do you call it? One of those pools, like basketball. Yeah, brackets. And
there's a term for it. Yep, the bracket.
The brackets. Yeah. So anyway, of course, my husband loves following college basketball. So we put together a basketball pool, and we don't charge anybody to join, but there are prizes. We put that out to like our clients that we think would be interested. And we're reminding them about us, because every time people get involved and they want to watch their stats, but every time they're looking at their bracket, they're thinking of us. So what I do is, like, if you join this bracket, I'm going to donate $5 on your behalf to the food pantry. And these are the prizes that you could win. So, clients bring their family members in. Every year we have more and more. I mean, we might have to run a couple brackets next year. I don't know, but that's been great. And I just think anything that you can touch base with your client, whether they come to the event or not, makes a huge difference. Like, we just set up our 2 movie nights. One will be at Tyson's in February, and the other one will be the outdoor movie night. We'll do that again here at the office. That'll be in the fall, but you can invite your clients, you invite their families. It's open to everybody. And you know what? If they don't come, I don't care, because I got in front of them and they responded to me and I had an interaction with them. So that's really the point of the events, is the interaction.
You never feel worse about someone because they invited you to a movie event, a night, or a shred event that they couldn't attend. I look at Redwood. I can think of Redwood in like two versions. I think you've only known the latter, but Redwood
Yeah.
before we did live events that brought all of our agents together,
Yeah.
and afterwards. And we're big
Yeah.
on the seasonality, as you know,
Yeah.
it's sort of, the holiday party
Right.
into the rally, into the
Yeah.
baseball game,
Yeah.
typically some type of a marketing event.
Right.
So it's
Right.
kind of like tells you what time of year it is, and
Right.
hopefully you find that those as engaging as your clients do.
Yeah. I
So
love
another aspect of your sort of your, I hate calling it marketing, because as the great Brian Buffini talks about, your when you're working with your sphere, like your top referral clients are sort of a combination of friends and clients. But I noticed that you do a lot of one-on-one entertaining. It seems like I see you at hockey games. And so how did that come about? And is that spontaneous, or do you have a method behind it?
No, well, I mean, we just kind of started. I know we love going to events. We love going into DC. We love going to not basketball games. I'm sorry, baseball games, hockey games. I mean, we loved going to college sporting events. So, we got the opportunity to buy a package of Caps tickets. And I thought, oh, Ron's like, what about this for an idea? And we could get 4 tickets and we could invite clients. Some of them we could go to ourselves, or other ones we could send them with their family. I said, okay, let's try it. So we did that last year. And I think that was a great success because, people appreciate it. I'm giving them something. We did one in December with past clients that are actually going to be buying and selling with me in the next year. We went out for dinner with them ahead of time. We went to the game with them. We got to connect with them. They appreciated it. We put it on social media. They're tagged. We're tagged. It kind of spreads us out there to other audiences. And last year we brought one of our clients and their daughter. They were Islanders. Ron is an Islanders fan. Sorry. They're Islanders fans. So we took them and we took a picture, and then he went to his hockey practice, and they were all men, probably 40 to 60 years old, in the Vienna area. And he was like, oh, sorry, we just got back from the Caps game with Suzanne and Ron, and he had a picture. And one of the guys there, who's friends of a friend, was like, oh, I know Suzanne and Ron. So, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that team was talking about us. So
Yeah,
that's invaluable. And that's the
yeah,
point
that
of
is.
doing these.
Yep. Now, in terms of documenting it on social media, are there
Yeah.
any times when you are out with certain clients that you might read as being hesitant about being on social media?
Yeah. I mean, in this area, because we have a lot of government
Mhm.
employees, there are
Yeah.
some clients that you can't put their names, you can't put their faces, they can't be on social media. So I ask, and, if I can't put them on there, I'll just feature myself and Ron out somewhere with clients and not say
Hmm.
who they are, maybe not put their
Gotcha.
photo, or sometimes we might not even put it out there. And I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable that, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I try we need to like tread lightly in this area because of some of the clients that we do work with.
Yeah. So now, in terms of when we think of segments of referral sources, how do you expand those? Like, for example, working with friends of your children. Some ideas there.
Yeah, that's been fun. I mean, that really has been fun. Because now, and I don't remember the statistics, but like first time home buyers is a huge portion of the market that's going to be purchasing this year. I don't remember, it's 30 or 40. I mean, I know it's a lot. I don't remember the number. So, and with the market shifting, right, we are finding I'm typically listing heavy, but with the market shifting, my business is shifting to be buyer oriented.
Oh, interesting.
50-50. I used to be
Okay.
70% listings, 30 buyers. I'm 50-50 now.
Okay.
So I need to make sure I'm leveraging that 50% of the business because there's more buyers out there than there are listings, right?
Yeah.
So I need to attract those younger buyers. And thankfully my children are of that age that they're out of college a few years and they have friends that they're looking to buy. We put together
Yeah.
a focus group, of
Okay.
one of our neighbors' daughters purchased with me about 2 or 3 years ago. But the first thing she did, our big thing is like, don't click the button of, do you want more information when you're looking online? Because she did that. And thankfully our program put her into business. Like our biggest thing, I was like, don't click the button. Don't click the button. Call us. Right.
That's good.
So, but our focus group was great because when we do our first time home buyer events, we do it in Arlington. We figured out which time works. We call it a pre-game. We asked them, what should we get for drinks and food? We were going to go buy like the beer we like. Oh no, they like sours. I would have never bought sours. They love sours. So, So you know what? They're different. And I need to stay on top. Like I want to make sure we stay young, we stay hip, we stay on top of it, and we stay plugged in to that generation.
The kids are into some screwy stuff. Sours, I'm a beer fan, but I can't get into the sours or the goses. So I rely on Brett Nickley from our Arlington office to keep me up to date on some beers. So let's just dive into that. So you're very fortunate with the age of your kids that you're able to kind of ride both of the waves right now, because the two dominant forces that we're going to be talking about for probably the next 5 years are going to be on the buy side, the millennials buying their first homes. And then we're also going to be talking about the baby boomers selling out of the homes that they may have raised their kids in. And I feel like when you have this seismic shift in real estate, when you have this seismic shift in interest rates that we've had over the last 2 years, there's a lot of boomers that were planning to trade in that equity for another home, but they kind of got stymied by the lack of inventory, which is caused by the low interest rate. So you're not going to sell the home you're in if you don't feel comfortable about being able to buy that next home.
Correct.
So your future is very bright over these next 5 years and beyond to be able to tap into both those markets. So that's exciting stuff.
Yep. That's where we're focusing.
Okay.
So.
All right. So I want to wrap things up by asking, about what is it like to be a husband and wife team? You got a backseat into, my wife helps me with my production here in this studio. And so you got a backseat to that. I think my wife and I both agree, we don't want to take this working relationship kind of beyond this. So how do you and Ron divide up your duties? And are there boundaries that have to be set, or are you able to sort of cover each other as much as is needed?
Well, it was scary at first. I mean, I was really scared. He was very excited. I was very scared because I'm like, this is my business. This is my baby, right? So, and you want to jump in and you like to control things in the house. Well, you can't control things in my business. This is the way it is. So I am in business. I am pretty much the boss of the business, and it has to be that way because this is my brand that I've built. So as long as, and he understands that. And I think if he did not understand that, it would have been more challenging. So, and Ron is extremely good with organizing CRM, like reminding me, hey, did you follow up with so-and-so? And I'm like, oh yeah, great idea. So that's worked out really, really well. It's worked out perfectly. He stays on top of like the client events. He'll help getting them organized. He does all the back paper stuff that I don't like sitting there doing spreadsheets. I don't like doing numbers. And when he was joining me, I was worried about health insurance. That's all. He's taking care of all that. So one day I was like, I need to talk to the head of human resources here. I have a problem. So, because that's his thing, and he helps and assists me. And, he is a licensed agent, so he can show property. And now with the way the market is, working with multiple buyers, when properties come on the market Thursday and Friday, I mean, we can only spread ourselves so thin. So he can go out with one set of buyers at 4:00 on Friday, and I can go out with another set of buyers at 4:00 on Friday, and we are servicing our client. So that's worked out great. I will oversee the whole contract process, and he'll get all the paperwork done. So it's really has worked out. I think we have more defined like roles than we expected, but it's just the way it fell into place, and that's what's working.
Yeah. If it wasn't going to work out, I feel comfortable to say that it would not have worked out by now. So I see it great. It sounds a lot like Nick and I am, we're an EOS company. I'm the visionary. He's the integrator. He's kind of the Ron role, and I play the more fun role. It sounds like to me, the Suzanne role. I remember when we were first introduced and I was reading the book, I was like, there's only one job I want in this whole book, and that is visionary. And it's really the only job I think that I'm qualified for and that I'd be good in. So let's end with some predictions for 2024.
Yeah. All right. I think it's going to, I mean, I feel, and it's already starting, it's a very strong market. I don't think anybody should be scared. We still are facing low inventory levels. I feel like this year should be a little better on the inventory side than it was last year. Buyers did take a pause at the end of the year because of the higher interest rates, because those will be trickling down. I think their fear will be subsided. So more buyers that maybe got priced out of the market or worried about interest rates, I think they will start coming back in, realizing, okay, it's okay to buy. And I think they might have a little bit more to choose from than they did last year. The buyers are being a little more cautionary this year than they were last year, which is okay. So I think in the end, I do see it's going to be a strong year. I feel like I might have a better year in 2024 than I did in 2023, which was good for me. So
I believe it. My prediction activity is anywhere between 10 and 20% bounce in transactions. I feel like there's a lot of pent up demand. Now that is assuming that, that the rate trends continue and that we don't have some geopolitical stuff. But my crystal ball tells me 10, 20%. And your business in particular, because you've been doing I don't even want to call video the hard stuff because it's the fun stuff, but because you've been doing the fun stuff, like what we talked about today, the sky's the limit. So thank you so much for joining us today, Suzanne. Thanks for sharing your almost 20 years of knowledge, and look forward to seeing you in person real soon.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks. Have a great day.